Yeah, bruh. It's been
Can
raining
I?
a couple.
Can we talk about something like that's on my mind actually? So, what's your take on spoilers
Okay, cool. Shoot.
in general?
I actually don't like spoilers.
Yeah.
I don't like spoilers, and I think it's indicative of media nowadays, like the media culture that we have nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're living in a world where the quality of movies and stuff like that, it's not all the way up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I'm forced to kind of pull for the scraps. You know what I mean? If you spoil a movie, you've literally destroyed the one thing that I know for sure is worth like paying attention to. Because if I'm
Mm.
going there for the sound effects and the cinematography and like the dialogue and the acting, there's no guarantee that all of that will be like given.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know for a fact that I'll be entertained at least by the plot. You know what I mean? So if you spoil the film, it's like there's nothing there for me. You know what I
So
mean?
I'm asking this because
And I won't
it's
love it. Like the
essentially
experience will be destroyed if I spoil it. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you can see the screen.
Yeah.
So essentially, what happened is that Ryan
Okay.
Reynolds,
Yeah, yeah.
they're shooting the Deadpool 3 film, and what happened is somebody, I don't know if it's somebody on set or off set, kind of took pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's becoming like a thing of
Uh
like
huh.
people are celebrating or not condoning the fact that whoever is out there taking pictures is kind of ruining the movie for everybody else.
Mm.
So it's becoming apparent. So that's why I'm asking, like, what's your take on spoilers?
Honestly, that's a great question because a movie like Deadpool will have amazing fight scenes and it will have pretty cool jokes here and there. So if I was spoiled the film, right,
Hmm.
I wouldn't like it because I have a whole thing about against spoilers. But I wouldn't think it would destroy the experience of Deadpool because Deadpool is not necessarily about plot. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it would be trash, but it wouldn't be devastating. I'll still sit for the film. I might still enjoy the film. You saw us. But if it was like more like attached to the MCU, I would be like, okay, cool. But because it's a very,
Thank you. Your audio is a bit
Good.
off there.
very, very long story and one film, yeah. So that's where I'm sitting. I don't know about Phil.
Uh, when it comes to me, I don't mind spoilers.
You don't mind.
They don't affect my
Okay.
enjoyment of the movie.
Like,
That's actually pretty like surprising for me because Phil always gives me the impression that there's got to be a thematic arc to certain types of stories, and
Yeah,
in my mind,
exactly.
his standards for stories are kind of pretty high. So if you get spoiled, how does that affect your perspective? Doesn't that affect, sorry, your
yeah.
No,
perspective
no, no.
of
It
what it
doesn't.
is that they're
It's just a
accomplishing?
thing of the destination versus the journey. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you've watched one movie, you've watched them all. So at the end of the day, it's more
Mm-hmm.
about what they can offer you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
With something like what's it called? What's it called?
And
Is
for
it Mission
you,
Impossible? Yeah, with something like Mission Impossible,
okay.
I don't mind spoilers. I feel like they've been doing the same plot
Okay.
for like the past seven of them, and I don't even remember what the plots are. But at the end of the day, I'm just there to see Tom Cruise run and save some shit.
Basically.
yeah, but
And when
isn't
it
it?
comes to
He
more
is a pretty good runner.
dramatic movies, my my enjoyment isn't spoiled by what's going to happen. I'm more concerned about how we get there and if that makes sense as we go along the journey. So
Mm-hmm.
my enjoyment has never been this thing reliant on being spoiled.
I agree with you to
I
a
don't
certain
mind.
extent. I feel like
And like,
essentially
uh-huh.
a movie should encompass you being able to like feel surprised to a certain sense, not knowing what's going to happen, and
Yeah.
where there's this whole industry being built around the fact that the leaks of like the certain film where you get the script before the movie's even out, where you get set photos, it's become a whole thing of like people are actively hunting those down, and it becomes then
Yeah.
what's the point of the movie
Hiding them.
experience?
I'm still on team. It's the
The
journey.
notes of
Yo, Abe, I think there's an audio problem on your side.
Okay. Oh shit. Can you hear me properly now? I haven't really changed much though. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice. So I was saying it's like looking at the notes of a comedian before his show. It's like,
Exactly.
bruh, you're gonna hear the jokes and they're not gonna slap as hard because you're expecting them.
Wait, have you guys ever been on YouTube?
Sure,
Like,
suppose the
how
Sherlock-
often do you watch YouTube?
Every day.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
I
When
mean,
you watch a
pretty much
YouTube
every other
video,
day, I guess.
what's the first thing that you do?
I open my eyes. I don't know.
First thing I do is
No,
first thing I
my
do
nigga.
is scroll to the comments.
Comments.
Yeah, I scroll to the
Really?
comments.
Why?
I don't know. It's less about the media itself and more about the community surrounding it.
Okay, yeah, it's about
Like-
the community.
Are you gonna watch a video that has 10 views or watch a video that has 10,000?
10,000.
That is interesting, but then I feel like you very much appreciate like something with dialogue, some kind of conversation between other people. I'm really
Yeah.
there for the actual media itself,
Yeah.
and like if you notice, if you pay attention, let's say you listen or you watch a certain video that's inside your feed, most of the comments are gonna be good ones. There's barely ever comments that are like opposed to that specific video. So I don't see it as a very fruitful endeavor to look at the comments too much, unless I really love the song that I'm listening to and I'm like, okay, let me hear if there's any recommendations past this, because like-minded individuals listen to like-minded music. Yeah.
Honestly, but what
So-
I was just trying to say was that I scroll to the comments to see the community surrounding it, and one of the more common comments is basically a quote from the video itself, even though I haven't gotten to that part in the video yet. In some senses, it can even be a spoiler,
That's
but
true.
that
Why
doesn't
would you-
detract from my enjoyment of the video itself.
Okay, let me ask you this.
My knowledge of what's
If
going to
somebody
happen doesn't
spoiled
detract from it.
Okay, if somebody spoiled to you something like a Sherlock Holmes movie or a crime thriller or something like that, a whodunit movie, you
Yeah.
telling me that you will feel completely unaffected by the fact that you learned who did it?
I think that I would. Honestly, I've been spoiled for what's it called? I've been spoiled when I was watching some thrillers, and that didn't detract from my enjoyment. I just don't think
Okay.
like it's a thing of I don't care about crime movies like that. I just don't care. Years of watching Elementary and your boy Sherlock Holmes and all of these things have just
True.
fried my fucking brain towards it all.
Can I ask about
I get it.
how you guys feel about trailers? Essentially, I understand, Phil, where you're coming from. I kind of get it, right? But
Yeah.
for me, it's from like the perspective. The question that I was asking, that is from the perspective of like the audience, right? Where as a fan base, you guys go out of your way to like look for spoilers. Then now, what happens when essentially the product that you're being given and the marketing for the product basically spoils the movie? Do you think that the trailer should have spoilers to the
Depends
film?
on-
Because imagine this.
Depends on the movie.
Because, like, I think I see where Lesotho's going from. When you watch spoilers or when you see trailers, there's a certain alignment or a certain expectation of what the movie's supposed to be. Like essentially, that's what all trailers and spoilers are. Oh, hey, you gotta watch this movie because it looks so amazing, and this car exploded in the background, so you just have to watch this movie. You know what I mean? And then when you get there, the car didn't really explode. Really, it was just like a fire that started behind the car. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Having seen that in the movie versus the trailer, it really destroys the experience of the movie. But if I didn't see the trailer beforehand, I would have appreciated that fire started behind the car because there's a reason why the fire started behind the car. So I feel like trailers and spoilers, they create an inauthentic foundation for you to experience the movie, and you stop looking at it for what it is. You start looking at it for what it expects. You try to see if you're going to get your money's worth,
Exactly.
if it's worth your time. But if you never watch any of these things and then you sit down and you watch the movie, you're basically dedicating yourself to say, hey, this is worth my time. Let me see what I can get out of it. You know what I mean?
The
That kind of
experience, yeah.
mentality, that frame of mind, I mean, it's a whole lot more easier without spoilers and whatnot. I would actually agree for everybody to do the same. I don't know.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And for the fact
Yeah,
that there's like a whole market of like, I don't know if you've seen these YouTubers where like they basically break down the trailer and like try to predict what the film is gonna go for. There's like a whole YouTube industry in
And
that.
it's like, no, that's kind of dope, I guess. I would never subscribe to that, to be honest. But like, it's kind of dope because I feel like people have fun with it. If you're having fun with it, there's no harm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
But the harm becomes where you now throw it in people's faces. You see where I'm coming from? If there's a niche where people enjoy predicting films and trying to figure it out, or just like, having an in-scope exclusive feel of a movie, fine, do you.
Yeah.
But it's another thing where you go to my grandma's funeral and then shout that shit to my face. Okay, this nigga also dies in this movie since we're talking about the occasion of death right now. That for me is like, no, please stop. So I do not appreciate spoilers. I'm just